Today's episode is sponsored by the 2023 Rhode Island Business Summit, presented by Stella Business Concepts on September 21st at the Event Factory in Warwick, Rhode Island. Join us to connect with B2B vendors, amazing networking opportunities, and guest speakers like Patricia Raskin, who will talk to you about podcasting for your business, leadership with Mary Sullivan, or customer retention with me, Erica Sicosio, and more. We have panelists, and we also have a very fun, amazing lunch and learn with Rhode Island comic Poppy Champlin. Tickets are on sale now. Visit our website at www.stellabusinessconcepts.com. See you there. Hey guys, Erica Sicosio here with Practical Biz Podcast, and you are joining us for Be Positive today. We are joined with Tammy Sliney, is how you say it, from TamBee's Naturals. I have known Tammy for about 4 or 5 years now. Tammy is probably one of the smartest people that I know. She's extremely creative. She can do everything from build a submarine to a beekeeper to a soap maker to, I don't even know if there's anything you really can't do. Is there anything you can't do? Contractor. I mean, she's very, very good with her hands. Learns things very, very quickly. So today we invited her to come on and talk a little bit about companies who are socially responsible and care about the earth and the impact that we have on it. Also, as her business coach, I will talk with her a little bit about perseverance and how much I've seen her company grow in the last 4 years. All really great stuff. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Tammy, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and why you're so passionate about what you do.
Well, the most passionate thing that I have is people, the earth, and what's the heart of the earth. And the heart of our earth is the honeybee. Okay. If we don't have that honeybee, we're dead. And if you go back in ancient times, the honeybee is like, it never changed. Even through in the dinosaur ages, the honeybee is still the same. It never evolved into something else. It's always been there. So if we kill it, because we're getting dangerous. We're actually killing our planet right now. We're so dangerous. It's unbelievable. Yeah. If we kill that bee, we're gone.
Yeah. So your message definitely would be that businesses really need to worry about the impact that we're making on the earth, right?
Yep.
So the way that we're making our products, the way that we're distributing them, the way that we're packaging them, all of that is critical. So you started off your business as the bee lady. Yeah?
A beekeeper.
So talk a little bit about beekeeping.
Okay, it all started, me being a beekeeper, is when my dad put a hole in our garage.
Okay.
Because it was making noise. And there was bees everywhere. This guy did not get stung. I mean, there were bees everywhere. He put a hole in it. He put a piece of glass over the hole. And he's told us, he said, see this bug? This is called a honeybee. Do not kill it.
Yeah.
And he reached in there and grabbed some comb. And we sat up on that table because it was like a platform. We sat up there and watched those bees that whole time. We ate the honeycomb. That was the first time I've ever ate honeycomb and honey on it. I was like in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Then I had a beekeeper in Oregon that his bees came and pollinated all my trees, all my fruit trees. I had the most amazing fruit. Then when we moved to Rhode Island, we stayed in Rhode Island for 3.5 years. We finally bought a house. Immediately when we walked through the house, my husband looked at me and said, now you can become a beekeeper.
Awesome. And so that's how it began.
I went to class and just to learn what was going on.
Yep.
And that year I became a beekeeper. I went and bought all this stuff. He says, here's the money. He just says, get what you need. And he even helped me out a little bit. He goes, well, here's, these guys sell bees. These guys sell bees. My first year, I totally failed on my first year. My second year, I got a little bit better. Now I'm a little bit better, but I still make mistakes. There's no such thing as a perfect beekeeper.
Yeah.
And I just knew that keeping this bee alive, it would help everything. I mean, from the pollen, from the honey, you can even the bee itself, like the bug, that's edible. I won't eat it, but everything about it, they call it the bee glues, the propolis. I think I'm saying it right. That even is even beneficial, and I sometimes put that in my soap.
Yeah. So I'll say, I mean, I've tried your honey. It's the best honey I've ever had. I think I probably never bought unprocessed right from the cone honey. I know I haven't. So I think your business is also booming because I believe consumers are also socially conscious, and certainly people are much more concerned about their health and well-being. And honey is one way to help combat allergies and a plethora of other things that I am not skilled or trained in to talk about. But I do know that it definitely is something that many people use for a number of health benefits.
Okay. There's one thing I want to teach everybody, that, the honey that you get in the store, if it says raw honey, the best way to test if it's raw honey or fake honey is put a little bit in a bowl. Yeah. Put a little bit of water in it and shake it like this. If it makes waves, or doesn't do anything, it's fake.
Okay.
But if you put some of this real raw honey in it, from any beekeeper, you put it in a bowl, put a little water, and go like this. And if it starts forming into a honeycomb, it takes on its natural shape. You got real honey.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just because it's in the store, people go, I bought honey from a store from allergies. They go, wait a minute. It's like,
yeah. So your business started with selling honey, and then you moved on to other products. So talk about that.
I do make soap, and I do put honey in the soap. And my lotion, I put honey in it. It's a honey powder.
Okay.
Because honey is really good for your skin. And let's see, what else do I make with honey? I got soap. I got lotion. I got lip balm. I make my own lip balm. If anybody wants it, I don't make it
custom.
Yeah. Because it can go bad.
Sure. It's got a shelf life.
Yeah.
Because it's not full of preservatives.
Yeah.
Correct.
It only lasts for a year. Even my lotion, it's only lasts for like a year.
So as a business, you changed your model because obviously the bees only make honey for a certain period of time. So you figured out a way to continue to make revenue throughout the year. So you moved from selling honey when it was in season to then making bath products. And now tell us about your third stream of revenue.
I love teaching people about bees, especially our future beekeepers. I go to schools and daycares, and I set up all my stuff, all my gear.
Yeah.
I wear a bee suit. I show them. I bring in a hive with no bees, and I bring in the combs, the drawn comb.
Yeah.
And I teach them all about bees.
And the smoker and your hat and all of that. Yeah.
I bring all that. I say, and I actually role play.
Yeah.
I'll role play, like, I'll do the smoking.
So you show them the steps.
Yep. I get my prying tool, and I'll show them what's inside there and what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I even teach them the bees all work together. They don't argue. There's nurse bees, there's guards, which I call like the Marines. They'll attack you. It's just totally amazing how they do that. And to the queen, and there's more than one queen, but there's only one mated queen. And I tell them about how these bees work together and what happens at wintertime. Yeah, the drones get the short end of the stick. I teach them all about that. I teach them about the bees, how they pollinate flowers and not just flowers, but our fruit. Yeah.
So you have thought about how to make the bee business really be a business, right? So it started off as a hobby, a very valuable one, but it started off as a hobby. And it, your love for the earth is so evident. I've been to where your beehives are, and there are ducks, there are dogs, there are fish ponds. There is even a huge teepee in her yard. So, this is not just somebody who's like pretending like, oh yes, I'm socially,
I got a
care. Yeah.
I got a garden. I got fruit
a
trees,
garden.
I got berries.
Yeah, literally, it's like you walked into the Garden of Eden in her
Yeah,
backyard.
you can eat off my land.
You can. Yes, you can. So what? Tell us, what challenges did you first face in business, your first year or two in business? What would you say your biggest challenges were?
For the bees was I had to wait until they started making honey. It takes about 2 years.
Okay.
Because you have to establish. There was no establishment there. I would get honey for myself, but there was really not enough to sell.
Sure.
Now that I have all these hives and I'm learning, I can get like $6,000 off of my bees. I have $6,000 in my house right now.
Yeah.
Of honey.
Wow.
It's like, and every year it just doubles and doubles. So now I'm thinking about even expanding to where a friend of mine wants me to go to some farm.
Yep.
And then put hives there, but I don't want to do that. So he's going to pay me to teach others.
Sure.
So it just snowballs.
So another stream of revenue. So now we have honey, we have bath products, we have education, and now also setting up beehives for other beekeepers.
Yeah.
And then teaching them the proper way to
and I mentor.
mentor
too.
So wow, that's amazing. And so this has all been within the last 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah. What was your aha moment in business?
When I met you.
Okay. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. It was about my products, my soap products. I always packaged them in plastic. And a lot of people, when I'd go to the fairs, they'd always smelling it. And it's like, they really weren't buying the soap.
Yeah. Because you couldn't experience it.
No. So Miss Erica, because I was thinking of somebody else.
I was like, why should call me Monica?
Well, I was thinking of a friend.
It's okay.
I was thinking of a friend because I was telling my friend Monica about
Yeah.
you.
No worries.
But anyway, Miss Erica says, I need to take you to a field trip. So we went on a field trip and she took me to a place and says, look at these soaps. When I looked at them, I was like, all these soaps, like they're all unpackaged. There would be small ones, little ones.
Yeah.
And they were all cut, not so fancy. And people were buying them. And I actually felt them. And I was like, wow, this is really nice because I could feel it.
You could feel the creaminess. You could see you could feel it. It was just an experience.
Yeah, it was.
You could feel it. You could smell it. It made you want to buy it. So we talked about how packaging and branding and displays and all of those equal the difference in your revenue.
Mm-hmm.
We even had talked about that with your honey. When I first met Tammy, she was selling honey in the most ridiculous sized containers. But that's okay. But this is how you learn. And she would have never made a profit. She was giving her honey away. And when I say it was the best honey I ever had, it was really true. So we talked about, how to maximize what she had with, with the size bees that she had, the size of the hives that she had and what she was able to produce. So working with a business coach was something that helped you. Even the way you display your tables is extremely different.
Yeah, because my table was like flat like this. And I just had stuff like laying down. And I've noticed that when I go to fairs, people are doing that.
Yep.
A lot of people are just walking by. Even these other soap people, they weren't there. They'd have soap on on the table, but nobody was buying anything.
Right. You need that depth. You need that height. You need something to bring people in. Yeah.
So you told me that you need to make it look like when you're going to your table, your booth, need it look like it's a store.
Yeah.
And so I started
merchandising is everything.
So you told me to get the crates. So I looked for the crates. I did the burlap and made it look country.
Yeah.
I didn't put so much soap out there.
Yeah.
I put like maybe 3, maybe 4 bars to make it look small. I didn't want to overwhelm all this soap because I did that one year when you first told me. It was like, and everybody was just like all confused.
Yeah.
So what I did is I put 3 bars out, and then they
just sold them and replenished them, and that kept them.
Yeah,
and that also kept your merchandise good.
Yeah, and I had all my soap in a Ziploc, so it kept the smell in there. Because if you put all the soap out there, it lose the scent's gone.
Sure.
So I'd put if I sold one, I'd replenish it.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then it's like the sales just kept going.
Like just kept going, right?
And I've had people where they went to another soap place, and when they came back, they says,
yeah,
so and so's buying soap there, but we came here because we like your display better. You're more appealing, and they actually bought soap.
And then you worked on also putting together talking cards that like said what the ingredients were, what the benefits were. So you really built up the value of your product on top of not only what I knew was a quality product. So I'm like, you're definitely not showcasing that in the way that it's displayed. So, you know, we went that extra level and said, you know, how are we going to display it? How are we going to brand it? Even your name, when I first met you, it was like Tammy's honey?
TamBee honey.
Tammy honey.
That was for everything.
That was for everything.
But when I'm doing my schooling, I'm saying TamBee honey.
Yeah. But you also have another brand, TamBee Naturals. And then on top of that, because we haven't found enough revenue streams, she also makes Talk About Your bags.
I make sail bags from my recycled sail from my sailboat.
Right. So
I'm a sailor too.
Yeah.
On top of that, and a traveler because I have a camper. We travel.
Right. But tell tell the story about how you make these bags. You don't just go get sails and cut them up and start putting totes together.
I could.
I know, but you don't.
No, but these are off my own boat, so I knew exactly where these sails went.
So they have a story. It's almost like the traveling pants, right?
Yeah, they all have a card where they sailed. Where the sail kissed the wind.
So
some of them have been in Oregon, some been at the San Juan Islands, Columbia River Gorge, Pacific Coast.
So very unique. So you found a way to differentiate yourself in the market.
Yeah. So I
while again recycling, right? You just don't go buy sail. You take sail that's no longer good, and then you repurpose it and you sell it. And then the bags are not inexpensive. They're $90 to $100 and something a bag, right? So great job with figuring out how to not make an impact, how to continue to repurpose things that are in your space and make money from that year round, while also doing good for the community. And so you didn't give up. And every time I see you, you're usually very happy and you're very smiley, and always ready to give and share. So I think that is amazing. So talk about having a positive mindset. What made you not give up? Because a lot of people give up.
If you give up, you're dead.
So that wasn't an option. So you never considered that as an option?
No, you're continuously learning. Why would I stop? Because then you're just you might as well just give up. Maybe if you give up, you're just dead.
Yeah.
You have to keep going.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Correct. So, and then the other thing I feel like what makes you a great entrepreneur is you are very open to feedback. So you ask a lot of questions. If somebody gives you some constructive criticism, or I wouldn't even use the word criticism, but constructive feedback, you do take it and you listen to it. You make it your own, things that make sense to you for your brand. You keep that, but you take the feedback and you go with it, and that's how you've been able to, double and triple your income.
Yeah, I don't feed off my ego.
Yeah,
and I'm very humble. If you're a person who's going to feed off their ego,
you
might as well not even ask for any. You might as well just go by yourself.
Yeah.
So you got to find that person that'll help you and just learn from it.
Yeah. So when you're always creating something, so you make sure that your brand doesn't become stagnant. Mm-hmm. So you're always looking, what new products can I release? Even if they're a limited time, you're always creating something. So talk about connecting with others, because a lot of folks that we have on the show get very nervous when we talk about sales or pitching their products or pitching their services. So talk a little bit about that.
The only thing that would hurt somebody's pride is if someone said no.
Okay.
It's all it is a no. They're not going to beat you up. It's like what are they going to do to you? I go, what are they going to do to you? Say no? So what?
Just keep moving.
Yeah, just keep moving. Yeah, why let that person stop you? Just put your foot in front of yourself and take another step.
Keep going. Yeah. So being an entrepreneur who is not afraid of the no, because after the no is a yes. So in the last 3 weeks, how many yeses have you gotten?
Lots.
How many? 10,
I
12?
went on the internet. Looked for the mailing list for schools, daycares, and I'm doing. I grouped it like, okay, this is Warwick schools.
Yeah.
I only did BBC or was it BCC emails to everybody.
Yep.
Just for Warwick schools.
Yep.
And then I do one for Providence schools. I got so much feedback.
Yeah.
So now I know where all these people, these schools are coming
So you made connections.
I made connections, and then one after another is like in 1 week, I think I had like 7 schools with a few.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
They're saying, can you come to our school? I have 2nd graders. I have 5th graders.
Yeah.
I even had one from high school says, we want you in our science fair.
Yeah.
I forgot what month it was.
But you just find limitless opportunities.
And I don't,
because you look for them.
Yeah. And I don't stop there. I actually, this week, after this break, I'm going to call the principals and say, did you get my email? I'm not going to stop just at an email. I'm going to call them.
You're going to do it.
Because I got the phone numbers, and I'm going to call them and say,
Yeah. So you're going to follow up. So you sent an intro email. If you don't hear from them, so you closed, 10% of those, and that's great. And so now you're going to follow up, and you'll probably close another 5. And if you don't get them this year, when you message them next year for next season, they're going to have at least heard of you.
But there's one school that wants me to come in November. So I'm thinking if this school wants me to come in November on it's bug month.
Okay.
I could probably do this all through the year.
Yeah.
So.
And that is your ultimate goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because it's springtime doesn't mean I stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
It's like the bees don't stop.
Yeah.
They don't sleep. Why should I sleep?
All right.
I stop.
So before we wrap up, what would you say your top 5 tips are for people who are starting a business?
Don't give up.
Okay.
Who cares if they say no?
Okay.
They're not going to kill you. Look for a coach. Miss Erica. It's like I listen to every word you say, and I apply it to everything. Even it's like maybe she's wrong or something, but I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna try it, and it works. It's like, okay, boom.
All you can do is try, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's it. Yeah. And if there's a bump and it's not working, find out why there's a bump and smooth it out.
Yeah.
Mine was the plastic on the soap.
Yep.
That was a bump. I took care of that bump.
Yep.
And just because you have one targeted business, there's
you can really grow and expand on that. Yeah.
Actually add to it. Just add a little bit to it. Just like, I don't know.
See how you can diversify it.
Yeah. Just, okay, make it a little bigger.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a snowball. You don't want to be the same snowball.
Yeah.
Because if you stay the same snowball,
once you start getting some momentum, you keep going.
Yeah.
That's why successful entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs and not small business owners.
Yeah. If you have a snowball, it's going to melt. You have to keep building and building and building to where it's so big that if it melts, it's okay because it's still a snowball.
So snowball. That is great advice. So look at the camera there and tell people how they can get a hold of you. Your contact information there.
I'm Tammy Naturals. I'm on Facebook. But if you just type in Tammy Naturals or Tammy Honey, you're going to find me.
You're going to find you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on eBay. I'm all over the place. But that's all I have to do is find me that way.
TamBee Naturals.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. You're a great guest and even a better client and friend. I highly recommend your products all the time. As you know, you are also a pleasure to work with. And I appreciate you giving your advice and your feedback as well to our listening audience. Thank you so much for tuning in to Practical Biz Podcast. If you like this episode, we ask that you please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below, share with your friends. We are working on being Rhode Island's fastest growing podcast for business.
Yes.
Bye. Are you a business owner? Are ready to get your startup? Well, started. Have a burning question you would like us to answer? Want to know more about the services we offer? Or register for upcoming workshops and events? Looking to book a guest speaker? Or would like to be a guest on the Practical Biz podcast? Visit our website at stellabusinessconcepts.com.